Oh, I'm not a well-behaved woman. I just don't see the point. My son, he thinks I have issues with authority, but I assure you, I generally follow all the rules because I'm the one that always gets caught, even when I'm not doing anything wrong. I was in the home stretch of a 4-year hitch in the Army. I had less than 90 days to go until I got out. I'd done well. I was a buck sergeant at the age of 22. But I was done. I was done with that Army stuff. I got myself a beautiful watch to commemorate the fact that this was the end of all that. It was late summer in southern Germany, and the annual hot winds were blowing in. And one day at work, my fiance and I decided to have our dinner outside on a picnic table, far away from everything and everyone. It was like being on a different planet. All of a sudden, we see Butch the MP, military policeman, come running across the field, one hand on his helmet, one hand on his holster, yelling at the top of his lungs, though we cannot hear what because of the 30-mile-per-hour winds. Just takes the words right out of his mouth and throws them behind him. So we just sit there with our food trays and wait for him to catch up with us while we eat our dinner. He finally arrives. "You're under arrest! Stand up, turn around, put your hands on the table." We comply, having absolutely no idea what's going on, and he pats us down for weapons and then pulls the cuffs, realizes that he has two hardened criminals, can't cuff us both, so he puts the cuffs back and draws his weapon, lest we run out into the sheep herd and hide. "You're under arrest for failure to render proper respect to the colors." For the benefit of civilians, that means failed to salute the flag at the right time. Can they really do that? Yes, they can. I know a Marine who was arrested for failure to wear his cover. That means hat. The people in the military have to live under a different set of rules and regulations than the rest of the world. And that gives us what we call, oh shit, no shit stories. We love to tell them. Please just ask us. But now back to mine. Talking at the same time, we try to explain to Butch that we couldn't hear the pre-recorded bugle call play over the speakers because of the 30-mile-per-hour winds, but he's having none of it. He's going to enforce the Uniform Code of Military Justice and probably try and get promoted because he just arrested 2 people. Takes us back into the field station where we go to a military police room we've never been in, where we're separated, and they just wanted to make sure we didn't collude on our stories about eating dinner. My statement was taken by a staff sergeant who took it on a typewriter with a carbon paper copy. And all I remember about it is he asked me, did I have any distinguishing marks or scars that I would like to show him? No. And did I finally want to see a lawyer? Yes. We were released to the custody of our lieutenant, who immediately released us to the custody of our shift supervisor, who immediately called up the security section to ascertain whether these 2 people, after committing this heinous act, still had their top secret clearances and could they work. Yes, in fact, we had to finish our shift. While we waited a month to see a military lawyer, we became very famous. We would tell our story at night out by the campfire in front of the barracks. The other soldiers looking up to us. We were the only ones that had ever been arrested, so we were kind of like older siblings. We knew about stuff. Finally, we got to see the military lawyer, the first one I had ever met, and got to tell him my story, which was very short, but luckily he asked to hear it twice. He summarized it like this. "So, you're eating dinner, the wind blows, you don't hear retreat play?" We believed that he failed to grasp the full complexities of this situation. We had now been in the German bars, And the Germans, the locals, had explained to us that in fact the hot winds could be used as a temporary insanity defense, even in the case of murder. Surely this would cover a salute. We left there and waited to be called, and we were called in to see the battalion commander. This is where I reminded myself that fear is not in the mind, it's in the body. You can't breathe, your knees get wobbly. Despite the stupidity of this entire situation, the consequences were very real. Would I be reduced in rank? Would I have to pay a fine? Both? Would I receive a less than honorable discharge? Would I have to give back that watch? He called us in and he put us at ease. But don't sit down because this won't take long. I have in my hand here an apology from the battalion commander of the military police to me, the battalion commander of the linguists. All charges have been dropped. This closes the matter. You're dismissed. I was so relieved that it took me a few years of civilian life to even be indignant about the fact that I got arrested and he got the apology. But that's why I generally follow all the rules, because I could get arrested just eating dinner.